Today, like I mentioned, we have a gentleman that I've wanted to get on here and preserve in an episode form. Skinny G Radio is coming to us live out of Los Angeles, California today. And I love the uniqueness of Skinny G. I love the originality of Skinny G. And I'm sure you will too. And I can't wait to start talking of this gentleman's journey. Let me see if Skinny's here. If you're here, oh, right there. Directly, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening, Skinny G Radio?
Richard Brooks, it's good to talk to you, man. Hey.
You too, my brother. Man, first of all, thank you for allowing that your schedule has allowed so we can add this show today, man.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for this show and what you do, the positivity you bring to the show, and what it does for other artists. Like, we need more people like you, truly. So, like, I love it. I'm happy to be a part of this. Yeah,
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Skinny. So, if you see anybody that's lining up, like I said, most of our major audience comes on the recording afterwards.
Right.
But if you see anybody that pops up, man, give a shout out to them, brother. But I cannot wait to get into your story. I was scrolling through, and I remember seeing, I said, is this a DJ? Is this what is this entertainment that's pulling me in like this? Yeah. And the more I got into, hey, everybody, indie fam, you know what I say. If you're scrolling through and you see something that pulls you, go to that page, explore that page, find out, go through and feel, but man, it pulled me in, Skinny. Where did your journey begin? Where are you from? What's happening?
I'm from Central Connecticut, East Coaster, just like you. So still getting used to the time zone out here. Took a little bit. I don't miss the cold either.
Okay.
Those winters, man, I don't miss the shoveling.
Yeah.
So I started in Connecticut. I was co-writing music with good friends. I never had any confidence in my voice, so I learned how to write and produce before going center stage for anything. Did a lot of ghostwriting for people, started producing the song on my own, writing it on my own, but then finding a singer to do it for me. And I loved that road for a while. I enjoyed it. It was fun to see it come to life. I learned how to collaborate and work with other people, which is great. And I moved out here. I got an opportunity to do like an apprenticeship in a studio, and I learned a lot. I mean, it was taking class, truly. So it was class without the school, and it was great. I worked on my voice and just tried to see if I could make a project on my own, do the writing, producing, front, center stage, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, that's the quick version. Yeah.
You know what, man? See, that's the thing that I respect about the independent artist, Skinny G, is that we're soldiers, man. We are soldiers, the independent artists. Everything you just mentioned now, man, it was a hit the ground running. You started learning things on your own, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, it was certainly a grind. And I never would have thought at the end of it that I would make something on my own that I would be singing on and being a part of. But I'm very excited. I mean, I have exceeded my own expectations for what I thought I was capable of making. So I'm excited. Truly, it seems like the right path when it's all said and done. So good stuff.
Break down your artistry, brother. How would you describe your artistry?
I think the sound of it is probably pop. Earnest is probably another word for it. I mean, along with the album, I have directed and shot a short film, which is kind of supposed to tackle making the project and sort of the more honest look at what making a project by yourself is. I don't want the songs don't sound sad or anything like that, but I wanted to make a more honest version of what it's like to make something that nobody's asking you to make, right? Like nobody was sitting praying for the next Skinny G Radio installment. Like that wasn't coming, So
I got you.
To keep your own momentum going and sort of work through that is really, I think, an honest story that needed to be told. And I hope that that's sort of what the short film does. But the sound itself, I want it to be upbeat more times than not. I really like something catchy. I try to sort of go for an earworm when I can,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's the chase. Is
That's
the
the
catchiness
truth.
of it? Yeah,
And one thing I respect about what you're telling us now, man, is that you're not afraid to explore your artist realm. We're
sure.
talking
Yeah,
filmmaker, we're talking music, production, right?
yeah,
Directing.
yeah,
What have you always been? Because I'm speaking myself, a lot of us artists, we can be our own worst critic. We can be our own biggest self-doubter.
for
But for
sure.
you, man, it seems like have you always been open to a skyless attempt of your artistry?
I think so. I started in tech when I was doing like theater in high school and a little bit of college and stuff. I was always doing tech work. So I think when I look at an endeavor of maybe making a movie or an album or something, I always think of the tech stuff first. And I go, well, if I can do that, I might be able to do the center stage stuff after that. That's usually the secondary thing for me. So it's like, well, if I have the ability to make the thing on a technical level, well, then I hopefully can pull the artistry with it. So that's sort of where the ambition comes from. And I think really for other people out there, just tell yourself you can, you
Come
know,
on,
that's
come
really
on.
all it is. You meet people, even if they're just in music, and they look at what it takes to make maybe a short film or something, and they go, well, that's for those people. Like I couldn't do that. And I think really at the end of the day, just I like looking at something and go, well, I could do that. At least I'd like to give it a shot,
Love
you
it.
know?
Yes. Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
come on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. But you were feeding me right there, brother, as you are. And I'm right with you, just as I know so many artists who are watching and will watch this can
Yeah,
understand that, man.
for sure. No, I
They
think
can
that's important
understand that.
for
Do
sure.
you remember writing your first song when you completed it and said, I just finished my first song?
I do. I do. I remember being surprised that the words were my own. Like it was weird that I could sing along to it, and I was like, "This is they're just my own story." I do remember it. It was very simple song, just a couple chords on a guitar, but yeah, totally. It was
Yeah.
right after a heartbreak, and if that ain't a time to write a song, I mean, that's
There
usually
you go. There
that
you
is where
go.
they come out. Yeah,
That's right. Well, see, that's a great point you just mentioned, man, because you mentioned right after a heartbreak, wrote a great song, but the life experience through artistry.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, how do you see that correlation even being important in your works, in your term?
I think that first song I think represents a lot for what my music sort of became. I think a lot of my songs start from something that I'm struggling with internally, but the
Okay.
song doesn't sound sad at the end of
Hmm.
it. I
Hmm.
sort of the song begins with the struggle and sort of hopefully ends with me coming out of it. And I don't even mean lyrically, it just means by the time the song is done, I've sort of finished that struggle. You know what I mean? So I like the idea of the
Yeah.
song sort of helping me in a way that's also, I like the song to be upbeat, but if it's about a struggle, I need to make sure I can hear it in an upbeat way. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's sort of it's therapy in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Come
It's
on, man.
yeah, you
Gotcha.
gotta. It's easy to just get it out. Even if no one's gonna, there are songs I made no one's gonna hear, but that wasn't the point at the time.
Come
It was
on.
really just to get it out. Yeah, yeah,
That's right. I mean, man, you're hitting it right there because I can remember I'm a dinosaur of 56, but artistry and music has been my thing, right?
yeah,
Most of that's my life thing. But I
yeah,
can remember what you just said, man, is that doubt that we all can. And I know a lot of artists, sometimes I get the emails of different, and it's something that we have. We're back to that thing about being our critic or whatever. But you found a way through your artistry to write through it medicinally.
yeah, for sure. And I think that at the end of the day, if none of this worked out, it's like I found my thing to like
Come
help me
on,
be
man.
a
That's
mentally
right.
healthy person. And what's wrong with, there's nothing wrong with that.
What's right?
So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
so it's all good, and it's exciting to work through it. And like you said, with the doubt and stuff, that's exactly like what the short film tackles. The album itself
Really.
doesn't sound doubtful. If you hear the album, I don't sound like I'm doubting myself in the slightest, but the
Okay.
film will tackle how I made it and how I doubted myself along the way. And I think the balance of those two things is important because artists sort of do that dance of like, I don't really care if anyone hears my stuff, but at the same time, like I need listeners. Like you can't be one without the other. So
That's right.
that
That's right.
back and forth,
Yeah.
that's funny to me. Like it makes me laugh when artists are like, I don't care, but at the same time, they're like, I need you. Like
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
dance that we all have to do. So I tackled that a lot along the way.
You have a realness in your artistry and definitely in your stage presentation because it's
Thank
very
you.
physical. You're back and forth, and I see you. You know, you're moving the whole thing. But even that's why I love this format. I said we scroll through and we can hear the music, we can see the clips, but I want the people to know this person as best we can in this time frame to be able to hear what inspired, what pulls us to their page, you know, what inspires the music we download or what have you. And so hearing you, man, there's a very artistic boldness that you have.
Thank you.
And where did that come from? Is that something innate in you? Is that something that just happened or what?
I don't know. I think I'm glad you see it that way. Usually the first sentence that comes out of my mouth is, am I out of my mind? So I like that, like that's the first way it comes out, you know, but that's also exciting to me when you come up with an idea like a short film or something like that and you go, oh, am I out of my mind for even thinking that this could be possible? And that you have to take that and run with it with excitement, not like, oh no, I'm a crazy person. So I think that's where I go. I run a little bit towards discomfort. I think discomfort is good. You need that to grow.
Yes.
And that feeling of, oh, am I crazy for trying this should be turned into, no, that you're growing at the very least for feeling out of comfort for even trying it. So I think probably that's where it comes from. That part I don't know if it's healthy, but it hasn't hurt me yet. So we will see.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love the way you put that, man. I love the way you put that.
Yeah, you gotta,
I'm all right so far. So far, so good. Real okay.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. You gotta stay.
Got you, bro.
Gotta stay.
Got you. You know, and ladies and gentlemen, Indie fam, and those of y'all watching now, first of all, I'm going to say it each episode. I always say this, Indie fam, y'all know. Go to Skinny G Radio page. If you're not already following, go to his page and follow, and you'll see what I'm saying right now. Not only see it, you'll feel what I'm talking about. When you're on stage, man, please break down the energy that you create on stage.
I think I practiced so long without cameras and without anyone watching or caring and dancing around my bedroom and whatever that at this point, by the time I'm up there, if cameras are on, I think it's easy for me to just put the walls up and dance around like a banshee to a song that I'm making. Like, I think it's easy to, it's not easy, but I think I've just gotten so used to closing stuff out when I need a couple minutes to just let the this is gonna sound super corny, but it's very true. You just kind of got to let the music come out of you, like really, like that's really what it is, and that may result in me dancing around and looking like a crazy person. But I think you gotta let it come out of you. You really do, because it's again, and I have to remind myself not before every take, but before I start shooting something that I worked here to get to here. I'm here. I'm at the place. So give it everything. Like, just dance around, let the people comment, and that's it. That's all you got to do, So I think energy is good. I think the type of sound that I have allows there to be an onstage energy. And so I just want to bring that out as best I can. I'm a sucker to dance. Like, I just kind of like to dance. So I hope that watching me dance on a little stage would make someone feel like they'd want to do the same.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. What equipment do you use? You have a setup, man. What do you use on stage?
I got a full 88 key keyboard. It's plugged in. No MIDI involved in that. I use a little drum machine that I can loop all my stuff.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of drums. Like, I wish I could play drums. It's one of those things that I can't get my legs and my hands to do the same thing.
Okay.
It's such a pain.
Okay.
I'm just not. I don't
Right.
know why. My
Right.
legs. I'm fine with hand instruments, fine. But once my
Okay.
legs have to get involved, it's not going to happen.
It's a dress. Right.
So I use the drum machine as a way to like sample my own sounds. I'll make sounds into a microphone, pitch them around, throw them on the drum machine. I think if you can use your own sound samples, there's such an industry for buying samples now that
Right.
I think if you can use your own, if you can, to learn how to make your own, it will at least make your music sound a little more like your own. No one else has your samples. You know what I mean? So I always wanted to make sure that if I could make this be as original and my own sound as possible, using my own samples might be a way. And I'll loop them all on there to sort of just make a build through a loop. And that's sort of been a fun way to rehearse. I make a lot of first drafts of songs kind of start that way, just messing around and sort of building a loop out of something. And then I try to write something on top of that loop. So it's fun. I think that's a good way for people to see sort of my process and how it gets me excited. Like, nothing gets me more excited than a loop out of nowhere that I was just feeling in the time. And when it happens, I start to dance around. And it came to a point where a good friend of mine told me, you should capture those moments on screen, because friends of mine would see me do that in like a bedroom studio or a studio, come up with something and just get all jazzed. And they were like, this is a marketable thing for people to see you do that. So, I think I get jazzed by my own thing sometimes. I can't. That sounds real cheesy, but it's true.
No, man, come on, I got you. Hey,
yeah,
man, let me tell you something. See, that's why I knew. That's what we would have never known, that energy that we see in the clips. Now we know why it looks so real, because it is so real. It's what you just said to, then your buddy who told you, man, you need to capture that. Brilliant, because that's what pulled me, man. That's what pulled me. And that's why I did that promo clip of the drum beat that you made.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is real. First of all, it's funky as hell, but then this is real. Okay, so so was that a spare the moment thing? Hey, y'all, look on my feed when you can, Indie Fam. And if you haven't seen the promo, check out the promo of Skinny G Radio on my feed of you doing the drum beat, man.
Yeah. No, it was just a day that I set up the cameras and just wanted to see what I could come up with. And there's a lot of days where it isn't anything, but I think it's you got to. I'm a fan of setting up the camera, even if you don't know if something is going to come out of that day, because then if something does, it's the most organic footage you're going to get. Here's one thing I'm not an actor. So I can't fake I can't remake the moment. I'm not good at that. I've tried it and it's not organic at all. And so I want to at least capture a real one. So, and a lot of the short film is that too. It's me keeping the camera on from the entirety of this process. It starts when I'm like 23, I'm 27 now. So, it's basically just keeping the camera on through the moments of excitement, just like you see in that video, while with doubt at the same time, and just going back and forth, because that really is the road. I think that's an honest depiction of what the road is, of trying to make something on your own and getting it done at the other side. I think what I'm hoping this film becomes is watching the roller coaster of making an independent thing, kind of for yourself, right? It wasn't for anyone in the moment. I was doing this to see what I was capable of, and there's ups and downs along the way, and you sort of watch someone come out on the other side of it. And so I think that's just an earnest thing, because I think we see a lot of specifically independent artists probably around my level of trying to only show the ups, not the down, hiding the down, put the downs down and make sure all the posts are pristine and all of you're only showing the highs, not the lows. And I think the lows are equally as important. They're equally as real,
That's right. That's right.
I just think that could be a very relatable message to other independent artists out there along the way. Yeah.
Another brother, amen, right on. I co-sign 100%. Everything you just said, man, because that's you got to be who you are. Nobody can give yours but you. Nobody can give yours but you. And
Sure.
you know,
Absolutely.
and that's your thing. You know, what do you say to the haters, man? Because we just brought the negative. Because you mentioned a pretty good point. You said, you know, it's not about all the pristine and the you know, the positiveness. There's some negativity in the game.
For sure.
And haters are big negative to an extent.
They're out
so
there.
They're out there.
I think if you are spending the time online to hate on whatever I'm doing, you need something better to do. I mean, there's plenty of stuff online to hate and have like a lot of reasons to hate that thing. I don't think I'm one of them. If you have found something in me to hate, I'm sorry, but it certainly won't make me sleep less at night. I don't. If you post my thing and say I don't like this guy, repost it and say I don't like this guy, that's more eyeballs for me. I don't care what your opinion of me is. Just keep pushing it out there, you know. So let them do it. The problem is the internet is an unavoidable way to spread your art, and haters are unavoidably on the internet. So they're sort of one with the other, and you just sort of have to learn to swim by. And it's tough. It is. I mean, I say that as if it like doesn't affect. I mean, it's hard. Most people I feel like can read 25 good comments, and that one bad one is the one that sticks to you that day. And it's weird. It's weird. It doesn't feel right, you know, that it doesn't seem fair that you read all these good jobs and then you get this one, and that's the one that you're like sitting on. But I think artists are, we're sensitive. We don't like that. I think it's attacking the thing that you've gotten proud of and that you've worked hard to get to. So we have those little buttons, regardless of whether we can lie and say they're not pushed. They'll get pushed. You just have to wake up the next morning and sort of leave that in yesterday, essentially, and sort of just let them talk, man. At least they're talking. That's sort of been my take. As long as they're talking, what's the worst thing that could happen, you know?
Come on, man. Come on. That's it. As long as they're talking, you know, and then as long as it's okay, we're talking about you. So, hey.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Let them debate.
Let them debate.
Some of the most popular posts on social media now is like 100 comments of people arguing whether they're talented or not. And it's like, who cares? Let them argue.
Right,
at least they're talking.
At least they're talking. That's right, man.
I think as an artist, especially, honestly, it doesn't matter your age. The internet is just a place where you're going to have to put your stuff out if you want the chance for most amount of people to see it. And you just sort of have to be prepared for that to sort of come your way. And you know, I sort of took the first few moments that I was getting like hater comments was like, oh, my stuff is actually getting to places. This was a sign that my stuff was leaving the little bubble of the internet that I was in. I actually took it as like it's growing pains. That's a word. Like it's
growing pains. I got you.
As you leave your own little bubble of people that support you, you're going to enter other worlds that people just. Not everyone's got to like your stuff. You just kind of have to let them experience it. There's plenty of people out there that can and will. So just do that.
Just do that.
Find those people. They won't give you crap along the way. So
come on, man. And what they call that's your dedicated followers or what have you. You know, okay. What's in store for? Well, first of all, where did the name Skinny G Radio? How did that come? Because a lot of people are asking me that, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, growing up and like in high school, I was incredibly thin, like noticeably skinny. I think I looked like the personification of a Tootsie Roll lollipop. I mean, it was my head and then just it was it was crazy. So the name Skinny G just came from like friends along the way. It was just something that I was incredibly skinny. My name is Jeff, but it begins with a G. So that's always been something that has stuck out.
Right.
So that sort of started along the way. And then in college, I had a radio show, and I did not know what to call it. And I just sort of stuck with Skinny G Radio. I liked that.
Okay.
It just seemed like a silly name to me. I had no idea the life it would take on, but the confidence that I at the time was faking on that radio show sort of formed into the character that became Skinny G Radio now, because I was so I was just faking the confidence. I was on the radio, I would just sit down and I would just, pretend to be my own little radio DJ, and it was fun, but I wasn't that confident of a person in real life. And I think I took that character that I created and put it into my music when I would songwrite later on. So yeah, kind of came from there. I did radio for a while. I loved it. Radio was fun. I kind of miss it. It was just a fun little thing to do. So I from there, my first idea to do an album was, my first album is called Skinny G Radio, like the title. And it was because I wrote the whole thing. I produced the whole thing, play every instrument, wrote
right on, man.
Every song is a different singer. So I wanted to, when you listen to it, sound like a radio station, because each song, the vocalist would change. But since it was all written and produced by one person, it still had a sound. So I wanted to see if I could create like a, my own original 30-minute radio show, essentially. It definitely got my stuff off the ground. It allowed me to work with some incredibly talented people, people that are still doing music today. I did a lot, shout out Lindsay Samabolis. I did a lot of songs with her. She's an incredibly talented vocalist out of Chicago now. Trey Frazier, another talented vocalist. He is now out here in Los Angeles doing Hamilton. Incredible talent. Yeah, so I got very fortunate, all from Connecticut. Like, I knew them there. And so I got a chance to work, collaborate, learn some give and take writing with people, and I grew a lot in that album for sure. And it sort of set me up for this one. Hopefully, we'll see.
Congratulations, man. That's out of sight. Out of sight. And then moved into film, so you're a film director as well, right?
Yeah. Well, I before I did music, I thought I was going to do film stuff. I always loved lighting specifically. That was sort of my door into visual arts. Did some little like film programs out on the East Coast, one up in Boston. And I just liked visual arts. Again, all behind doing tech work. I was never in front of the camera, anything like that. And I just sort of stuck with it. Anytime, even when I got into music, my buddy and I, we would always make these making ofs, just to sort of show people that we were making these songs like from scratch, just to, because it's just
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, especially in the world of how you can just like buy loops now, and like you can just buy pre-made beats, and that there's a huge industry for it. So I'm not knocking anyone who does that. Who am I to say? So, but we just wanted to. We felt like it was important to be honest that we were starting from punching a desk and having that be our kick drum sort of thing. So we wanted just to show the whole process. And from it sort of kept my filmmaking skills, it just kept a little oil on the gears a little bit. And when I came out here, I wanted to make a short film. I didn't think I'd be doing it all on my own. That was sort of a COVID thing. It was hard to get a film going with a group of people, especially when quarantine was bad. So the majority of this short film ended up being literally me setting up the camera and then walking in front of it to be the actor, and as well as the shoot. So at the end of the short film, I will have been the director, cinematographer, and actor, which is weird. I did not think that was ever going to be the thing, but exciting nonetheless. So I liked directing. I've always liked the idea of directing something. I don't know. I like I said, and how we talked earlier, I'm open to the idea of doing other things outside of an album. I would love to maybe have my next project be visual, but score it, the music for the visuals of it. Sort of do the album but backwards. Start with the visuals and score the. I don't know. I need to stay excited. And the idea of just finishing an album and opening a new notebook and going, page 1, song 1, like that doesn't excite me yet to just immediately start over. So we'll see. I don't know. But I need to stay, things that make me feel ambitious keep me excited. And that sort of thing is starting to make me feel a little ambitious. I don't know.
There you go, man. In other words, that creativity is just, it's ignited, but you have to keep on keeping on. It's
For
like,
sure.
I've got to change.
Discomfort, like I like the things that make me go, oh, I don't know if I can do that, but I think I could. I think the best creativity comes from walking that tightrope of going, I'm so not sure if I can, but I'm gonna. I think, to me, that very narrow balance. Personally, my best work has come out of being caught walking that tightrope. So
that's right.
Yeah, like I said, there's still plenty of time. We'll see, but yeah.
Can we impose on Skinny G Radio? Do you have anything you could do for us impromptu?
Oh, impromptu.
Or even if you have something there in the studio over the speakers, I don't know, whatever.
Let's see. I don't know if this is going to work through my AirPods. We're going to find out.
Okay.
Let's see.
Hey, Indie fam, follow Skinny G Radio's page. Download, follow, keep yourself posted.
Can you hear this?
Yep. Right on, brother. Right on, man.
Hey.
Right on. Yes, man. Skinny G Radio, man. It has been a pleasure to meet you, man, to hear your journey. You've definitely inspired me. I know the other artists who are watching now and those who will watch can identify, man. I mean, that's why I wanted to do this format, a place where artists, we can come together, speak the same language, understand the same fears,
You're doing the Lord's work out here. The fact that you're offering this sort of platform for artists like me, I can't thank you enough. This is a great thing you're doing. When you hit me up and I started to look through your stuff, I was like, oh man, we need more stuff like this on the internet. We truly do. So I'm happy you found me. I'm glad I get to do this. Truly, you're a good guy. I love your energy. I was watching your stuff, and when you were coming to you live from the US of A, I screamed because people don't talk like that anymore, and I'm such a fan of those old school radio disc jockey sort of thing. Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
I really do.
Y'all, Skinny G Radio, please, y'all, follow it. Please let us know, where can we download, let us know how to support Skinny G Radio.
Sure. You can find all of my stuff at skinnygradio.com. I'm Skinny G Radio on all social platforms. So wherever you are, if you search that name, you will probably find me. So Skinny G Radio. It's all pretty much one word. It is all one word on the platforms. And I had to stop telling people that it's Skinny Gradio. Everyone would ask me, what's a gradio? And I'm like, gradio is not a word. I don't tell you, but so Skinny G Radio, for those who see and it's all one word. The G is separate. Yeah.
Right on, man. Hey, Indie fam, you heard it. You heard it now, live if you're here, and then you'll hear it recorded after you
Hey.
after the fact. And those of us indie fam who had this opportunity right now to experience Brother Skinny G Radio, this is your new family member, indie fam. And I say that because it is a family out here, y'all. We understand the struggles of each other. We understand the positivenesses. Is that a word? Positivenesses of each other. We know what this artistic journey is about, indie fam. And I'm telling each and every one of y'all, this is where we come together. As much, keep sending me your emails, keep sending me your links, and keep sending me you. This is what we want to do. We want to connect each other. I'm following now, indie fam, 2 collaboratives that have happened because of this format. Our brother Hasabi out of Tokyo, Japan, is now collaborating with our brother in Grand Rapids, Michigan. See, that's what it's about, indie fam. And those of you all who are watching and you felt something today in the words and the message of Skinny G Radio, hit them up, DM them, blow them up, however the words are nowadays that we say. And connect everybody.
That's right.
You
Hit
know,
me up. The lovers, the haters, hit me up. It doesn't matter.
Everybody.
I'm welcome. I'm welcoming everyone.
Look at this. People that say Skinny G Radio rocks. You know, I'm hitting him up now. It's that's what it's about. This is it,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
Well, brother, keep us posted on when the film is coming out, where we can see it, where we can find it.
There aren't hard dates yet, but the album comes out in the spring, probably late May, early June-ish, and the short film will be midsummer, probably.
Good. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Much respect, Skinny G. Have a good one, man. All right. And you know, I'm bi-coastal. I live in L.A. and North Carolina, so when I get back to L.A., if you're doing something, man, I'm going to come.
Oh,
all right.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it'd be great to do a live, a live episode.
I would love to do this live next time you're out here. I would love it, truly.
You got it, brother. You got it, man. Have a good one, man.
Take care, Victor. You too.
Bye-bye.